Hey, what's going on everybody? Mela here. So, AirPods Pro. Now we all know Apple just unceremoniously dropped them on their website, like super quietly as if nobody was looking. And now, after a while actually testing them, I feel like I'm ready to share my thoughts. So let's begin at the end and roll back to the beginning just to subvert expectations, I guess. Are the AirPods Pro good? Short answer is yes. The longer answer is yes, but kinda. It depends. Now, it depends on what. They're the successor to the most popular headphones on the planet. And the same recipe that made the original AirPods the most popular headphones on the planet is still here, and it is definitely what makes this the best choice if you are in the Apple ecosystem. If you have an iPhone, these are the fries to your iPhone burger. It sounded like this was going to be a good analogy, but it turns out it wasn't. Okay, about that feature set. What is actually different between the OG first and second generation and the actual AirPods Pro? Now, the original ones, you either had to summon Siri or tap them to control stuff, and Siri was the only option for you to control volume, and that's still the case with the Pros, but now instead of tapping, you press on a pressure-sensitive area of the stem. I like this implementation more. It's more comfortable than actually tapping something that's, hanging on your ears. And the first one did not have water resistance that would save you from light-ish rain. If it was rainy outside, you should not wear your AirPods, otherwise you would have dead ones on your ears in not too long. And that's also a problem for people who wanted to, run or exercise with those things and not have to worry about light rain or maybe too much sweat ruining the AirPods. And now the Pros are IPX4 certified, so light rain and sweat, no biggie, you're definitely not going to lose them for that. And also regarding people that could not use the original AirPods for, exercising or at all because of their fit, which was like super loose just hanging on your ears, the AirPods Pro now have silicone ear tips, which definitely help to keep them in place. Truth be told, personally, I like the way the original ones sat on my ears, didn't have any problems with that. I wouldn't go jogging or actually exercising with them, and I wouldn't do it with these anyway, so not really an issue for me on that regard. But these do feel more snugly put in place, that's true. And now we get into a big category about sound. And we're gonna first, within that category, talk about all these microphone arrays and sensors and all this sort of stuff. And this gets us what? Well, noise cancelling and transparency mode. Noise cancelling is sort of what you would expect. It analyzes the ambient noise and creates an equal but inverted frequency to drown out the noise that it's picking up from the outside. So if the noise outside is a flat frequency, it does a better job at that. People speaking and all that sort of stuff, like too much buzzing in a crowded environment, is not the greatest, but it can do a pretty good job even at those scenarios. Problem is, not everybody perceives that inverted wavelength as like complete silence. It does feel like there's a tinny, high-end, noisy humming at the back end of everything I'm listening to when active noise cancellation is turned on. And I know this isn't something exclusive to me. I talked to a couple of friends that actually have the same problem. One of them is an audio engineer, and that was the one thing that made him not keep the Pro AirPods. He just reverted back to using his originals. But I talked to two other audio engineer friends of ours that actually did buy the Pros, and for them, with active noise cancellation turned on, these sound like worlds apart from the first one. Much better. For me, it's sort of like in the camp of not really. It sounds better than the first one, but it does sound better on its own with passive isolation because of the silicone tips. But either way, that's the feature, active noise cancellation. You can't dial it up or down. It's either on or off, but at least it's there. I'm gonna catch a flight in 2 days, well, maybe 1 day from the time you're watching this video, and I'm definitely gonna be testing that inside the airplane, because airplane engines, that should be something these would be like very, very good at, like completely drowning out. And the second new feature is transparency mode, which uses the microphones not only to analyze what's going on outside, but to enhance the mids and highs of everything going on so that you can hear people talking to you much more than, just stuff happening. It doesn't feel like you're not wearing anything. It's not like 100% natural listening. It's just making it possible that you hear people even with something that is blocking off stuff passively on your ears. Again, when I'm at the airport waiting for my flight, I'm definitely going to be using that to see if it will help me, get the call. Yo, dude, you're going to lose your flight if you don't hurry up to the gate. I'm going to test that. I'll let you guys know later. Hey, Mal from the future here. Gone and came back from my trip. Active noise cancellation was spot on. Excellent experience. But what impressed me sort of the most was transparency mode. It was useful more often than I thought it would be, and it was actually quite interesting. It was quite good to use it not to miss out on stuff going on around you, whilst you still have your buds on your ears and a little bit of music playing in the background, not too loud and all that stuff. It's not meant for you to be able to listen to your music as is at loud volumes and to be able to listen to everything else around you. So to kind of, curb your expectations a little bit. But transparency mode was more interesting than I thought it would have been for myself. And finally, we get to sound quality. Well, how do these sound? Basically the same as the first ones. They're mid-heavy, forward, and a bit too bright. They kind of brighten up the mids and highs a bit too much, in my opinion. But the fact that it has passive isolation means that it doesn't have to try as hard to overwork the audio in order to present you with anything. So there's more detail, less grain, and more texture to everything that is being, shown. Plus the low end is much less sloppy than with the first one. It just works the audio in a bit finer detail. It's not extremely better sounding. So for sound quality alone, I would not tell you to buy these instead of the original ones. Unless money to spend is no problem for you, then okay. But I'd still suggest something else, which is this. If you don't have a problem with the way the first ones fit your ears, you couldn't care less about the transparency mode, you don't want or need active noise cancellation, and you also don't really care about the passive noise isolation as well, then the AirPods Pro is just too much money for a bit better sound quality. In which case, I would suggest you do this. Grab the first or second gen if you want the wireless charging case, and the rest of the money use to get something like a Philips SHP 9500S. On the top shelf, way to the side, that one. You can get it for about $75 quite reliably nowadays. It sounds absolutely amazing compared to these or the original ones. It's gonna blow either of them out of the water every single time. They're open back, large, super comfortable, fluffy, light as a feather, and those are what you are going to use to chill and enjoy music, enjoy movies, enjoy gaming. These are what you're going to use when you're out and about, you're working, you're taking phone calls, you're listening to podcasts while you're doing something else. You're sometimes listening to a bit of music while you're on a commute or you're on an airplane and all that sort of stuff. They're supposed to be convenient for your everyday work and kind of flat enough an experience to work everywhere. They're not going to be the best at anything, but they are going to do all of it in a way no other option in the market can. And they even work on Android. You lose a little bit of the magical connection thing between Apple devices, yes, but still, compared to everything else, this little package is you can't beat it. You absolutely can't. $250 is steep, but if you have one of these are the correct answer for you to pair one to the other. Here's your combo, fries and burger. And that's been it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave any comments or suggestions down below if you're feeling like it. Like, subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of new stuff coming up. Hope you guys are having a great start to the holiday seasons. I'll leave the links to everything we talked about in this video down below in the description if you guys want to check it out. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you guys later.